November 30th of 2022, the world changed forever. Artificial intelligence, or AI, became accessible to the public for free through a tool called ChatGPT. The name stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a robot you can talk to, use as a search engine, personal assistant, and so much more. And it went from 0 to 1 million users in only 5 days, which is the fastest out of any platform. It took Facebook and Instagram 2 years, took Pinterest 4 months, and it took Angry Birds 35 days. ChatGPT has now been used by over 500 million people, and their growth isn't slowing down anytime soon. And OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is on top of the world right now. But behind the scenes, a company you know very well has been waiting for this moment for years. A $10 billion deal is in the works between Microsoft and OpenAI, and this is the very first time Google, the search engine king, is facing a serious threat to their business. And the reason for that is simple. Microsoft is looking to upgrade its own search engine, Bing, and ChatGPT is going to play a major role in Microsoft's plan. Let me explain. Back in 2019, the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, invested $1 billion in OpenAI, which at the time was a very small AI project. Well, I say that, but the company was co-founded by Elon Musk, so don't think of it as your local high school project either. But anyways, there was a lot of critique surrounding this investment, as things like ChatGPT or AI-generated art were still considered science fiction back then. But Satya Nadella had a gut feeling. And these types of technologies often follow what we call hockey stick growth, meaning they show sudden and extremely rapid growth after a long period of linear progress. And this is exactly what's happening now to ChatGPT. In just a few months, it has become the most talked about project in the world.
Coming for your job.
But the best part about the deal Microsoft made with OpenAI in 2019 is that it was actually composed of cloud credits. They basically gave money to OpenAI in order for them to pay for Microsoft's own services. And on top of that, they would be getting a share of the company. I think you're starting to understand why this was such an ingenious move by Microsoft. But this also ended up being the key to OpenAI and ChatGPT's success. To understand why I say that, you have to realize that for any AI company to successfully carry out operations, it needs an insane amount of computing power, which costs a ton of money. So who better than Microsoft to help them run it? They are the second largest producer of computing power in the entire world. But if you thought this was a brilliant move, just wait to hear what they are planning now. A true business masterclass. Let's talk money for a bit. So, here's the deal. Microsoft is offering to give OpenAI $10 billion. But come on, they're not that charitable. The catch is, they want to own 49% of OpenAI, and on top of that, they would have to pay 75% of all profits until they pay back the initial investment. But why the hell does OpenAI even need these billions? Well, for the most part, you might have guessed it, but it's once again to spend it on Microsoft computing power. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would OpenAI even agree to this, now that they found this much success? Why would they need even more of Microsoft's money? Well, there's actually a very simple explanation to all of this. Even though ChatGPT might look simple from the outside, it is incredibly expensive and intricate to operate. They are legit spending $3 million a day just to have this free service running. Add everything up and they're projected to spend between $1 and $3 billion in 2023. Doesn't seem like a very profitable business model. Or is it? Spoiler alert, it is. But you'll understand exactly why after watching the entire video. But for now, you understand why when a giant like Microsoft wants to take this load off your shoulders, maybe it isn't such a bad idea after all. And for the founders and shareholders, it's definitely a brilliant idea. If this deal goes through, the company's valuation will go through the roof, and by selling shares back to the company, they could be making a lot of bread. But it doesn't end here, because the real plan behind OpenAI and Microsoft getting in bed together is much, much bigger. But before I explain why this might be the single greatest business deal in history, please subscribe to my channel. It's free, and why wouldn't you, to be honest? So, to put things simply, Microsoft and OpenAI want to build the foundation of artificial intelligence. And for Microsoft, this is the ideal time to plan an attack on Google's monopoly. This is how they plan on doing it. ChatGPT is just a smokescreen, a front. It's a chat-based adaptation of an AI model called GPT 3.5, which runs on, you guessed it, Microsoft servers. And since creating a new AI model from scratch is extremely expensive, many companies just prefer to pay OpenAI to use their existing models through APIs. Now expand this to thousands of companies and millions of AI interactions every single day. And this translates to billions of dollars of revenue for both OpenAI and Microsoft. But for Microsoft, this isn't even what they're looking for. As I said, they really only have one goal in mind: challenge the emperor of search engines, Google. Google has been on the decline for a little while now, and Microsoft is seizing the opportunity to take the top spot. And they aren't wasting any time. They've already started integrating ChatGPT into their search engine Bing. Now, let's be clear here, up until today, who the f used Bing? Well, according to Statista, over 1 billion people, but most of them probably used it to search for Google. I mean, it is literally a beat-down version of Google, but Satya Nadella and his employees had a vision for quite some time now, and with ChatGPT, they can turn that vision into a reality. A reality that'll bring many changes and will affect everyone, including you. But as simple as it may sound, Microsoft can't just force ChatGPT into Bing and have it up and running perfectly within a few weeks. They've got a few things to think about, like lawsuits, biased results, and economics. There are already countless examples where ChatGPT and other AI models like DALL-E produce results that were racist, offensive, or even dangerous, as AI systems are only as good as the data they were trained on. So this is a legal shitshow waiting to happen. I mean, Microsoft tried to implement an AI bot on Twitter a few years ago, but let's just say it didn't go down well. In less than a day, Twitter users were able to teach the AI to be racist and extremely offensive. But an even bigger problem of AI at the moment is simply that it's so extremely expensive. See, just one answer from ChatGPT costs around 2 to 3 cents in computing power, which is 100 times more than it costs for a traditional Google search. And another issue is, currently all search engines work with a pay-per-click system for advertising. But if the AI is just going to show you the answer directly, instead of presenting a list of links, they're going to have to find a different business model. Either a premium, subscription-based model, or even a pay-per-search. Who knows? But I think there's one last question left to answer. Why the hell hasn't Google done anything about this? You'd think this would become some all-out bidding war between tech giants, or that Google would launch its own AI applications, right? No, nothing. They haven't released a single meaningful product based on AI that had an impact even remotely close to ChatGPT. And that's because Google simply has too much to lose. See, Microsoft's search engine Bing only makes up 5% of the company's entire revenue. But with Google, on the other hand, it's over 58% of the revenue being brought in by its search engine. Obviously, they need to keep evolving, but they can't risk it all based on this latest trend, as it could end up being disastrous if it doesn't work out. But for now, everything seems to be falling in place for Microsoft's master plan to take over the infrastructure of AI in the coming decade. But there is one last thing that needs to happen for all of this to become a reality. Maintain exclusivity. Currently, almost all AI applications are based on GPT or other OpenAI products. But if this changes and companies are suddenly able to create their own platforms without the excessively high costs, they won't really have a reason to use Microsoft or OpenAI's products anymore. And by the way, if I can give you one quick tip, it's to play around with AI. And definitely do not be scared of it, as it's here whether you like it or not. And remember, for now, these tools are here to help us, not replace us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and most importantly, watch this video on Andrew Tate's master plan for 2023, where I explain exactly what's truly going on behind his recent arrest.